Working myself up. Oh, I'm about ready. I just need to get my glasses cleaned up. I don't have any weed, but if you want to roll a joint or pack a bowl while I'm talking, feel free to pass it to me. I'll be here. But I'm about ready. Go ahead. You're not doing anything tonight? I'm going. I gotta pick up my son after this, and then I'm heading back out to GR. Yeah. Oh, cool. Where's she at? I wanted to say she was on. Yeah, she's on the East Coast. That's damn. I'm ready. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another late episode of Where Is This Going? I'm your host, Hunter Miles. This is Where Is This Going? A podcast about artists you may not know now, but hopefully will soon grow to appreciate at the very least. In the studio today, we have me. You're welcome, or I'm sorry, depending on how you look at this episode. I'll be upfront with you. I like doing solo episodes, but I know not everyone appreciates just hearing me. That's not what this podcast is advertised as, so it's not what they're expecting. But, damn it, you came to my podcast, you get what I give you. And I'm happy to give it to you. If you want to see me live, I'm doing a couple stand-up shows on the 25th. I'll be at Trixie's Bar in Hamtramck, June 25th. That's this Friday. There's no more tickets available online. There still will be some walk-up tickets available. So if you're on the east side of the state and want to come see me do comedy with a bunch of heavy hitters on that lineup, go to Trixie's Bar in Hamtramck on Friday, June 25. And I just got asked to do a couple guest spots on Saturday night at Ambrosia Theater. So get your tickets at ambrosiatheater.com. It's going to be a great show. Yeah, there's two shows, 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. We have, I know I'm opening on the show. I don't really know who else is on the lineup besides the headliners, which is a great, with the headliner, which is, or two, just kidding, Andy Beningo and Kate Brindle. 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock shows. I believe tickets are $35 for a table, so you and a friend. Come on down to Ambrosia Theater. James Brown runs a great room there. Every Saturday, 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. And that's that. Hi. I just got back from New York. It was really fun. Oh, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @the_Hunter Miles. And you can follow the podcast on Instagram at Where Is This Going Pod and on Twitter at Where Is This Gopo. All right, we're done. I just got back from New York. It was super fun. I did a couple club shows there. I know I talked to you guys about it before I went, but like I said, it was super fun. Went out there with Kian Straub, super hilarious comedian. Ben Moffitt, super hilarious. Devron Thomas. It was so much fun. Got to do a few open mics, meet some more comedians out in New York. I just love that scene in general. The comedians are hilarious and so welcoming. Shout out Barack Zeev, who had us on his open mic out in Harlem at Cafe Popular, 1927, something like that. 1927 Cafe Popular, that's what it is. I got to check out the Tiny Cupboard rooftop mic, which was awesome. Yeah. I went to, my first set was at my first club set or whatever, bringer show at the Comic Strip. Shout out Hamza Azim for surprising us and coming out to our shows this weekend. It was super fun to see you again. Dude just moved out to New York to teach tennis or something. I mean, it's funny meeting comedians who are also like gifted at other things and talented, especially physically. Like you're active enough not only to be good at tennis but to teach others. Like most comedians, when you meet them, they're on their way to a hangover, not on their way to coach tennis the next morning. But shout out to you, Hamza. You're doing it. You're looking like a real brown guy out there. Did not recognize you. You looked like a graduate student from NYU. You got new glasses and a haircut. Seemed great. Yeah. So the Comic Strip show was fucking awesome. Got to actually watch Dante Nero close out the show, which was great because the last time I did a show at the Comic Strip, I had to jet over to Broadway Comedy Club, so I wasn't able to finish the whole show. But dude's a killer. If you don't know him, look him up. Dante Nero. You can follow him on Instagram at the Dante Nero. I know that because he said it at the end of every one of his sets. But the dude is a legend, I'd like to say. I brought up to him how I'd heard his name again brought up on a podcast when they were talking about Patrice O'Neal, which just sparked a whole Patrice conversation, which was just awesome to talk to a friend of Patrice about Patrice O'Neal. Yeah, just the proximity to greatness in that city was something to behold. The next night at the my last set of the weekend at St. Mark's Comedy Club in the back of the V Spot Express in St. Mark's Place. Check it out. Very fun room. But Dante was on that show, and Carmen Lynch came in to do a set before she went to the Comedy Cellar, which, again, it's just the proximity was so awesome. Just talking to both of them, just sitting down at the table. And, yeah, I'm name-dropping because this was a big deal for me. And it's not like they'll remember me, so cool. It was just fun to be there. And I saw Mark Rebillet just segueing down the street, which was super interesting. It was on like one of those one wheel like Segway type things, and he's going down the street. And I say to everyone else, "Is that Mark Rebillet?" And no one knows who I'm talking about. So I'm like, "Fuck you guys!" And I just go, "Mark." He turns around, gives me like a little head nod and a peace sign. It wasn't to me. He just didn't know who was yelling his name, but I felt recognized. And once again, I love New York City. But back to local news. The Detroit Pistons just won the lottery, getting the first pick in the draft. And I'm just hoping that they'll trade it away to get Blake Griffin back. I'm kidding. I'm just a huge Blake Griffin fan. And while we were in New York, we got to watch the Nets get kicked out of the finals. It was pretty fun. Went into overtime, and we were just in the bar our last night in New York, and we're like, all right, let's see if we go out with a bang or just go out laughing at all these sad Nets fans. And we were laughing at a lot of Nets fans when we left, but it was cool. Trip was great, had some pitfalls, but we moved on. Overall, all the shows were so much fun that we couldn't really complain at all. Came back to Mulligan's on Sunday night. did a set to a great room again, and I didn't feel too bad about coming back to Michigan Comedy. So thank you, Grand Rapids, for making this nice. I love doing comedy here, and you know what? I really don't know what else to talk about if it's just not stand-up comedy right now, but I'm still happy to do that. Also, I'll end the stand-up comedy talk now by showing you one of my clips from this past weekend in New York. Is it the comic strip? Is it St. Mark's? It's probably the comic strip. Here you go.
Like, I always hear from other people, like, oh, my family's gone for the weekend, let's go have a party. I lived in a house with 8 people, and all of us were too poor to leave the house at once. There was never a time where all 8 of us were gone. That's weird. Except for my first vacation. My first vacation was to Florida, went to Orlando for my sister's Make-A-Wish trip. It was really great. We got to go to Disney World. It was really cool. It was my first flight. She lived. It's fine. That's what that was. It was concern. No, she lived. It's fine. But what they don't tell you with the Make-A-Wish trips, like if you beat whatever terminal illness gets you the trip, you got to pay for the trip. Unless you get cancer again. So, my sister found a loophole, but she beat breast cancer too. So, that's her. Please, do not cheer too loud. Those debt collectors are still listening. So, somebody's gonna pay for that shit.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't know which one it will be yet. Probably one with crowd work. My issue with posting clips and stuff on stand-up, the reason I don't do it more is because I don't want to burn out jokes that I'm still working on, burning out material and stuff. I know I just said I'd end the stand-up talk with that clip, but now I have to reference it. So I'm looking to more post. One, I have to video record more podcast or more stand-up sets. But also I want to, if I'm going to post anything, it's going to be playing with the crowd more. Just because, one, it's fun. Two, it's spur of the moment and can't be really not reciprocated, but repeated or reinvented, because it's something organic with the audience. So that's something I'd like to share with people, because it's, one, organic comedy and organic experiences are always fun to share and to admire, I think. But also, since it can't be repeated, there's no point in saving it, you know. But yeah, because it can't be perfected. So why not let you see it? I'm thinking about making a TikTok. At this point, actually, I've already made the profile. I'm thinking about starting to post on TikTok. But I went through so much anxiety downloading the app and making a profile. Like when I went, I don't know why. And this is actually just, I think it's a little bit of like some right-wing extremism that has gotten into my head. But as soon as it asked me to like create a profile, I was like, what information do I want to give to China? That was my only thought. I don't know why, and that's where all of the anxiety came from. But I was like, fine, they can have my Apple ID. They already know it, I'm sure. So, also, I have nothing against China. Like I said, that was just some right-wing extremism that had crept into my brain. But also, if you are taking our information, Russia too, I mean, you earned it. If our security's so low that you guys can just have our data, or if we're selling our data, then then we shouldn't be mad at you. If our country is selling our data, we shouldn't be mad at Russia or China. We should be mad at America, which is easy. We've been doing it for years. We as in black people. And by years, I mean about 400 to 500 years. Amen, brother. But yeah, you guys want to talk about slavery? We can do that. I don't usually talk about the pros of slavery, but we can get down to it. I mean, who's to say no? Free labor is nice, though. I'm sure. I've never had the chance to benefit. So I think, you know what? If the tables were turned, it wouldn't just be like slavery was awful. It would just be like, we hate white people for making us do this because we know slavery. Like, slavery is universal. I don't know how I got here, and I'm sorry. The Park Theater open mic is coming back, which I'm very happy about. I'm very happy because it's another place to perform in Holland for artists. And as a comedian, it's another place to try out new stuff for an extended period of time. Usually open mics, comedy open mics only allow you 7 to 10 minutes at the most, which is 10 minutes is extreme usually for an open mic, but just kidding. I think Ellison does 10 minutes. But 15-minute sets at Park Theater were always fun before the pandemic, and I'm hoping they will continue to be fun after the pandemic. We have a new host for the Park Theater open mic. You guys have known him as Jared Driesinga, or Brother Jer, formerly a host of the Elbow Room. But yeah, bringing that same vibe and community to Park Theater will be fun. I'm excited for it. And it's not conflicting with Parrots at all, so it's not like... Oh, that was the other issue I had with Elbow Room. No, the other issue, besides Jer. I'm kidding. I only disliked it a little bit just because it was also on Thursdays. But now it's on Tuesdays, I believe, hopefully. I actually... Huh? Yeah, open mic. Yeah, Park Theater open mic's coming back to Tuesdays in Holland. Check it out. But before you do that, come to Paris Lounge this Thursday. That's tomorrow or today, depending on when you watch this or listen to it. It might be yesterday. Maybe you missed it. But Thursday night, we got a great lineup for you. Not going to name everyone on it, but I'll be there hosting, and it should be a good time. But yeah, Paris Lounge every Thursday night in Holland, downtown, 234 South River Avenue in Holland. Check us out, 9 p.m. Free show. I have been inundated with multiple Holland page requests, and I, for some reason, feel the need to tell people I don't live here anymore. But I also can't, like, get away from them because I also want to post in them about stuff that I do in Holland, because I'm still promoting a show in Holland. But damn flies. But I'm no longer interested in Holland politics. Speaking of Holland politics, I'm just doing a bunch of promotions when I can't figure out what to say. Speaking of Holland politics, check out, just dropped today, Kyle Aris of Obscured State of Mind, his podcast, his episode with the mayor of Holland, Nathan Box, is now available on video and audio. So if you're already subscribed, you know where to find it. But if you like this podcast, you should like that podcast too. Obscured State of Mind. Check them out on YouTube. Obscured Straight. I'm scared straight. Obscured State of Mind. God, I'm sorry, Kyle. Check it out. But I'm scared straight of mind. Of mind what? But yeah, no, that's super cool. To have a mayor, to have any sort of political person on your not political person, but a political head of a city, I guess. As a local podcast is, I mean, it's a pretty big deal. So kudos, Kyle. And I just like the way that sounds. So that may become a segment on these solo episodes. Here's your kudos, Kyle. But I don't know. Not everyone's named Kyle. I have a cousin named Kyle, and he's not. I mean, he's kind of white. I think he's mostly Native, not mostly Native American. He's half and half. Is he half Native American and half black? I really should ask him. Hey, Kyle, if you're listening to this, and not the white one, you know who you are, and you're not listening to this. But hey, Kyle, if you're listening to this, and you're upset that I don't know more about you, you should come around more. But also, are you like half Native American, or is like just like a quarter Native and a quarter white? I really don't know. You know what? I think it's time to take a break for our sponsors. This episode of Where Is This Going is brought to you by Off the Grid, house of the vintage and handcrafted and created in secret. Off the Grid is located at 2863 West Shore Drive, apartment 114 here in Holland, Michigan. And Off the Grid has everything you need to get exactly that, off the grid. Before you go away for the weekend, make sure you get hooked up with a fresh drip, with a new glass piece. They are a curated vintage apparel shop mixed with a premium glass shop, and just here to curate a vibe for you to get off the grid. Barber coming soon. They are, like I said, located at 2863 West Shore Drive, apartment 114, open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Check them out. Tell them we sent you, and you will get 10% off of any glass or merchandise purchase. Yeah, just mention Where Is This Going, and say what up to Alex and Bruce. All right, and we're back. I am so, I don't know. I don't want to be stagnant in my life. I don't want to be stagnant in my dreams and passions. I'm looking to branch out more. I'm just nervous. I guess that's really what I was trying to say. I'm so anxious right now. And it's like an anxious excitement, but also like what I'm excited for, I know I don't have the means for. So I guess that's why it's anxious. I am really wanting to relocate to either, I'm still gathering, but I really want to go either to New York or Austin. And I'm sure I've explained this before, but I really love those scenes and those places and the proximity to what I want to be. You know, the level that I'm looking to achieve is so visible in these places that it maybe that's a pitfall, or maybe it's like a mirage type of deal, or just maybe it's just me being dumb. Like, you don't have to be close to these places to be close to that level. You know, you don't have to, like, things aren't going to change just because you go to those places. You still have to put in the work. You still got to make a name for yourself. And that's what I was getting to before with the TikTok stuff. Like, not that TikTok is going to make a name for me, but it will put my name out there possibly. Shout out Cam Honeyegger. Follow him on TikTok at Cam Honeyegger. That's Cam, HoneyAger. But he's getting a lot of traffic, or has gotten a lot of traffic on TikTok, and is posting more stand-up clips and things on TikTok, which is just another way to get your stuff out there. Though I don't want to burn my material, I'd like to put more crowd work stuff up. The stuff that I do have, I want the people to see. You know, I want to cast a wider net. when it comes to my content. But yeah, why am I so hesitant to do that on TikTok? It's because I see TikTok as a gross thing. I don't know why. It's just annoying to me. Like how there's not been another app that I've been so weird about having on my phone, just because I don't like the trends that it promotes, that it sets, that we eat up. Not me myself, but TikTok has taken over culture in America, and not even just America. But it's so weird to me. Like, you see it on Jimmy Fallon, and then it's a talking point for the next 2 weeks about racial relations in America. And how is it? I don't understand why or how it so quickly, or I shouldn't say quickly, because TikTok was around like years and years ago. Just no one was using it. Only like people who were doing like music stuff where they would just sing along to a song in the background. That was the only thing TikTok was used for back then. Or if you were a rapper putting in your own audio, you could try to get some songs out like that, which also turned out to work for a lot of people. I mean, I do the same shitting on SoundCloud. Like, I hate SoundCloud, but it was also, I hate SoundCloud rappers. That's what I'm saying. SoundCloud as a platform is cool or whatever. It's fine. I'll give it that. But I don't know. I mean, it's the same as YouTube, really. It's just another access point open to everyone to contribute. But with that, you just have awful content. And sometimes that awful content takes root in America because we are awful people. And so we get addicted to it. Also, speaking of Americans being awful, I want to talk about hot dogs for a second. I had this epiphany about hot dogs when I don't know what brought it up or why I was thinking of it. But just the idea of hot dogs is the idea and epitome of American greed and excess. Like, not only do we consume meat in excess as Americans, our pastime, the favorite snack to our American pastime, is just excess meat. We're just consuming excess meat in excess. I don't know how to make it funny, but I just know that my sister, who has had cancer twice, has never had a hot dog. Which means she twice looked at a hot dog and said, you know what? It could get worse. And so I'm taking her lead on this. I'm never eating a hot dog. Are hot dogs the cure to cancer? I highly doubt it. I believe they're actually a leading cause to colon cancer, but I'm also not a doctor. And I might have colon cancer. No, I don't. I believe I don't. But I do need to see a doctor. Someone reached out to me commenting on the audio quality of this podcast, to which I believe that's bullshit. But they also commented on some of my content in my stand-up, talking about my butt. I have a shitting problem. I don't know if I've stated it on this podcast. I may have done that before I took it to stage. But I shit too much. I poop far too often. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how much is too often. But I'm shitting like 6 to 8 times a day. At least 6. And I don't know if it's normal. I believe I have IBS, but I'm not a doctor, so I can't just tell myself that. And even if I do, why am I not doing anything about it? So I need to see a doctor. Someone explained to me that he was in a similar state as me and then went to the doctor and was diagnosed with diverticulitis, which is bad, I think. You really gotta watch what you eat. But I'm it's so obvious how much I'm not a doctor or medically minded at all because I don't know what diverticulitis is, and I just shrugged it off as if it was chlamydia. Like you got to watch what you eat. Take a pill for 2 weeks. I don't know, but it could be god awful, and it probably is. But I don't know what to do. I don't want to go to a doctor. I mean, I want to. I just can't find time. But I just started working at the pub, which is nice, so I may find time now. Catch me down at Fulton Street Pub. Not now, just on Mondays doing comedy, but sometimes that as well. I'll be cooking food in the kitchen, which is cool. I dig that job way more than factory and quality control stuff, and it's a lot more fun. And it's a lot more rewarding when it just comes to giving people a good experience, which is all I've been trying to do with most of my endeavors. Trying to bring you a good experience. Though it may not seem like it, know this is my effort. And if that's even sadder, so be it, I guess. I'm sorry. Like, this is him trying. This is him trying to put out good content. This is it, folks. This is me trying to put out good content. A half a week late in the middle of a rain. Just because I didn't want to leave you guys without an episode. Just because I had to go to New York and do big time stuff. I'm completely kidding. But it is... I've had so many people, not just comedians, but artists in general, who have watched me put myself out there and just going other places, going into other cities, going into really just hubs of the cities, but booking myself on shows and just going on trips to put my name out there, who have said that it inspired them to do the same, or just at least inspired them to look at their own craft and say, why am I not promoting myself? Why am I not doing more? And which is cool, but also sad because I still have that every day. I'm like, why am I not clipping more of these podcasts and putting them out and promoting that more? Why am I not going out and putting physical flyers all around again for Parrots Lounge on Thursdays? Like these shows that I'm promoting, or these stand-up clips that I'm sitting on. Why am I not putting more of those out? Why am I not getting booked on more things? It's all stuff we can all want to be doing more, especially if you focus on the things that you're not doing. But when other people come up to me and say, like, what you're doing is inspiring me to care more about my craft and put myself out there and promote myself more, it's humbling, because while I have those, why am I not doing more thoughts still, it's showing me that what I'm doing is enough right now. Or it's serving a purpose. Maybe it's not enough, but it is serving a purpose. And I appreciate that. I appreciate... This is narcissistic already. I as I was formulating the sentence in my head, I appreciate you telling me what I'm doing for you. I mean, that's why I am doing this podcast. It's as a service. I believe I'm born to be a servant, and that's what I'm trying to do. Is it completely altruistic? No, because obviously I am trying to make money off of my passions and my crafts, but that's only to support my living, so I can serve more, so I don't have to do other stuff. Okay, I guess that would be serving less. Because if I could just do this and stand up, then I wouldn't be working at the pub where I'm serving food. Not serving food, but you know what I mean. providing a service of food. But would I be providing more of a service to more people mentally or emotionally in stand-up or podcasting? Maybe. Who's to say it's all, I don't know, it's unknowable right now. I can say that. I can say that I don't know. And something I learned a long time ago in my faith is that there's power in saying that you don't know and admitting that you don't know things. Not only in faith, but in life in general. In jobs, it's always better to be honest. Don't lie on your resumes, kids. Is a lesson from Chris Waitkus out in New York. Very funny dude. Follow him on Instagram. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much I got for you guys. But yeah, you can follow Christopher Waitkus on Instagram at Christopher, you know how to spell it, _Waitkus. That's WAITKUS. I promise to you that I'm going to be devoting more time to this podcast. More time and effort in maintaining a timely schedule, because that's on me. I'm also in talks about bringing a new podcast out to you guys. Maybe not on this channel, but with the aforementioned Cam Honeyegger, very funny guy. We're still talking about it. I like the ideas that we have right now. Again, check him out, and he's going to be here in the studio soon to do this podcast. You'll see Cam Honeyegger on Where Is This Going. Next week, we should have, this nigga flakes on me all the time. I love you, but we should have David Colbert on the show. Very funny comedian from Grand Rapids. Comedian, father, significant other, I think. I don't know if he's single. I think I'm kidding. But you'll learn more about him next week. Super funny, super short, super black. I love David. Follow him on at comedian David Colbert. On Instagram, stay tuned for that episode next week. And you know what? I think we are just going to do a short episode this week. We got about a half hour in-ish, maybe. But appreciate you. And I'm sorry I couldn't bring you more. Oh, not yet, but hopefully soon you can catch me on Elena Bamfield's podcast, Leave Me Alone. If not, if you're not already listening to it or already subscribed, please start. It's a very great podcast. You can also see Elena usually on the Salsa Parlor morning shows.
Jesus Christ.
Also, catch the Elena and many others this Saturday at the Salsa Parlor show. It's a great show. I wish I could do it, but I got to stay home this weekend. So catch me at Ambrosia Theater. 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock shows. Kate Brindle, Annie Bedingo. It's going to be great. Get your tickets at the AmbrosiaTheater.com. And follow us. Oh, also, Trixie's Bar, Hamtramck, this Friday, June 25. Can't get tickets online. Get them at the door. Hell of a show. It's going to be a packed show, too. So enjoy it. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @the_Hunter Miles. And follow the show, please. Actually, I'd prefer more of you follow the show. At Where Is This Going Pod on Instagram and at Where Is This Go Po on Twitter. Catch me at Parrots this Thursday at 9. See you next week.